for the train is coming. Don't need no baggage, you just get on board. All you need is faith to hear the diesel humming. Don't need no ticket, you just thank the Lord. Welcome, viewing audience and listening audience, to the People Get Ready podcast with the legendary political guru, Mr. Charles E. Bibb Sr. from Bibb's Record Shop. Today, we are starting off our program with a quote from the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. of his 50 top quotes. And the first one is, there comes a time when one must take a position that is neither safe nor politic nor popular, but he must take it because conscience tells him it is right. It may well be that we have to repent in this generation, not merely for the neurotic words and the violent actions of the bad peoples, but for the appalling silence and indifference of those good peoples who sit around and say, wait on time. Now is the time. These quotes are very relevant for today's time. And it is now time. It is a great time and opportunity. Opportunity with the Bibb Business Opportunity Mall grand opening with SNAP. How does that work? SNAP has added Employee Retention Tax Credit Program, REC, refund, $1.9 trillion. Did I say that right? $1.9 trillion they have. Come on, everybody, and get this money. Who's eligible for this money? Any U.S. business is ready, is eligible. A nonprofit you can now qualify for a federal tax refund check. All you have to do is join SNAP Delivered, and it's free. Did I say free? Yes, free. You can join SNAP Delivered free today. And for more information, you can call Mr. Charles E. Bibb Sr.'s office at 216-681-1469, or his mobile line is 216-659-1419. And I want to introduce to you today the man himself. Everybody put your hands together, draw your mind in, and get ready for Mr. Charles E. Bibb Sr. himself. Take it away, Mr. Bibbs.
Thank you, Reverend Ben Fair, for that awesome introduction. You're right on target with the Martin Luther King quotes right today.
Yes, sir.
Too many people sitting around waiting.
Yes, sir.
We got to do something about that. Thank you. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
And I'm told, Dr. Glenn Dowers, I got an interruption coming right away. Breaking news, heartbreaking news.
Yes.
From Las Vegas, Nevada. Is Mr. James Panicker's in the house. Mr. James.
Yes, I am. Yes, I am. How you doing, Mr. Bibb?
Yes, sir. Are you in Las Vegas?
Yes, I am. I'm sitting here.
Take a minute and tell us what's going on out there, please.
Well, hey, it is breaking news. We are out here in Las Vegas, Nevada. It is 115 going up to 120 degrees. We are out here for the first ever launch, the biggest launch in MLM history for Go Love Life. I'm talking about it is going to be one of the biggest launches of a business in the health and wellness industry that the industry has ever seen in the last few years of this industry. And I'm going to tell you right now, we have some of the industry leaders that are coming in right now to Las Vegas to see what the buzz is about. Because this company is the first ever microbiome company powered by the noni industry. Because the original Tahitian Noni company just filed for bankruptcy earlier last month, and they are no longer in business. Now people are scrambling to come over to Go Love Life. So since the original Tahitian Noni company had filed for bankruptcy, Go Love Life is now the darling of the industry, and now they are having their official launch, and it is going crazy. They are about to launch a new product that is going to set the industry on fire. So if I was you, but I'm not, but if I was you, I would get with Mr. Bibb, find out the explosion that is about to come to Cleveland, Ohio, and find out the infusion of cash that we are about to bring back from Las Vegas, Nevada, and create this health and wealth movement. It is going to be huge. So I'm sending it back all the way from hot Nevada to you, Mr. Bibb, right there in Cleveland, Ohio.
Thank you, Mr. James Panicus. I got a couple of messages for you. The company is back ordered on my powder. Tell them to rush my powders in right quick. And also, don't forget my souvenir bag and all of my stuff, because I'm supposed to be in Vegas with you today. But I can't leave in the middle of the election, the hot election coming up November the 8th. I have to stay in Cleveland. But I'll have you on the program next week and tell Mr. Robert Dean I'll announce next Wednesday what day he's coming to Cleveland. Because all my people want to see him.
I'll make sure, and in fact, I'm going to record it and I'm going to send it to Candace so she can actually send it out to everybody when Mr. Robert Dean is going to be coming to Cleveland, and we are going to explode it out.
Okay, and then I'm going to take you one higher. I want you and him next Wednesday when we have our regular hour, both to tell us on the podcast when you're coming to town, because we want to blow Cleveland up. Thank you. All right, thank you very much. And go get the information. See you over the top.
Have fun in Vegas.
All right.
Now, we're going to another city now. Is that all right with you, Dr. Gwen Jarvis? We're going to another city?
Oh, yes, that's just fine.
We're gonna go
I enjoy traveling.
Okay, we're going to go from the West Coast to the East Coast. Miss Candace, do we have anybody on the East Coast?
Yes, we do.
Would you please introduce them, please?
Okay, I'd like to introduce Natalie Manning. She is an entrepreneur. She's retired from her regular business, so she's a entrepreneur, and she's going to share one of her entrepreneur businesses with us today. So, Miss Natalie Manning.
Where's she from?
She's from Hampton, Virginia, all the way from Hampton, Virginia. Right. She was up here in July visiting, so she's back in Hampton, Virginia now, and she said the weather is getting to be her type of weather. Natalie Manning.
Hello, and how's everybody doing this afternoon? It's nice to be here today.
Great.
That's good. I would like to thank Mr. Bibb again for letting me share some information with the listening audience. My name is Natalie Manning, and I am an advocate for individuals, families, small businesses, and commercial driver's rights. I was on this podcast a few weeks ago and had asked the audience a few questions, such as, what if you could have an unlimited access to an attorney? Or have you thought of having your will written or revised? I would like to first say that I am not an attorney. I am here to share information. I would like to expound on the last statement that I made about a will. This is September, and September is National Make-A-Will Month. But this is something that should and can be done at any time. You can consider a will as a love letter that you're leaving for your family or your friends or your loved ones, whoever you would like to leave it to, and letting them know that these are your final wishes and plans. This gives you peace of mind, especially if young children are involved. Sometimes we always think, oh, I'll take care of this, but life gets in the way and you never know what life is going to bring us. There's also some other situations that we should take care of, and you never think about it as far as dealing with life. Might be a power of attorney, or in some cases, a trust, or maybe even a living will. These are just some things that during our everyday lives we might think about, but for whatever reasons, we put it on the back burner. I would like to assist and share some information with these subjects that could possibly be beneficial to you. If you are interested, please give me a call at 757-927-2579. And if no answer, please leave a message. I also have an email address of nsphoto, PHOTO 53@gmail.com. And my number again is 757-927-2579. I will be back on the podcast again in the future, so I will be talking to you again. And once again, thank you and have a great evening.
Thank you. Look forward to hearing from you again. All right. Moving along. I'm told Miss Joanne Holly is in the house. Miss Joanne Holly? All right. We'll get to her later. Miss Candace Jones,
Yes,
would you take a couple of minutes and tell us about the Grandparents' Day, please?
sure.
Mr. Bibb, can you hear me?
Yes, that's Joanne.
Yeah, I was on mute.
Go ahead, Miss Joanne.
Yes, Mr. Bibb,
Yes, go right ahead.
what am I talking about?
All right. Tell us what about Miss Vivian M. Sharp.
Oh, well, everybody needs to get in contact with Vivian because she's a professional in what she does. And she does podcasts. And she's been doing all types of radio programs. She's one of the best in the business. Please contact, if you're interested, please contact Vivian because she has all of that key information that you need if you have a business, if you're trying to advertise, whatever it is that you need, she'll show you how to set up your podcast so that you could be heard all over the world. If you want that information, get with either Candace Jones or Mr. Charles E. Bibb Sr. Thank you and have
Thank
a
you,
great
Miss Joanne.
Yes.
Good job.
Thank you,
Let
Mr.
Vivian
Bibb.
know. Thank you, very kindly. Now we'll have Miss Candace Jones tell us a little bit about the great Grandparents' Day that's coming up soon.
Okay, so Grandparents' Day is a national holiday that's celebrated on September 11th. But in Cleveland, we're having a special event. On Saturday, September 17th, we'll be celebrating Grandparents' Family Day and Resource Fair at Luke Easter Park. It'll be from 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. And I just want to share a little bit about Grandparents' Day and the Resource Fair. The Grandparents' Family Day Picnic and Resource Fair is designed to be a day for strengthening families. It's our goal to facilitate a day of information sharing and agency networking, mentoring with community professionals that many families have no access to assist in managing family pressures, social obstacles, and help with life stress. We will do this by hosting an intergenerational, family-friendly gathering with a variety of activities offered throughout the day. So hopefully everybody can come out and join the event. Again, it's Saturday, September 17th at Luke Easter Park, 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. Hope to see you all there.
And Miss Candace Jones, would you tell them about our booth we'll have out there with paparazzi jewelry and snap delivery?
So Mr. Bibb and I will have a vendor table out there. One of the tables will be paparazzi jewelry. Paparazzi jewelry is fun, fashionable jewelry for anybody. And the good thing about it is most of the items are only $5. So you can get a nice necklace and earring set for $5. If you're looking for a gift for someone, you can get it very inexpensive. It's also a way if you want to change your wardrobe, accessorize with paparazzi jewelry instead of getting a whole new wardrobe. We'll also have a Snap Delivered table out there so you can learn more about Snap Delivered and all the benefits from Snap Delivered. So coming out to the event, again, Saturday, September 17th, 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. at Lukeyster Park.
Ms. Candace Jones, will we have anything special for business people who might not know about the money that's available?
So with Snap Deliver, we'll be sharing some information about the ERC program. And what the ERC program is, it's Employee Retention Tax Credit. So back in 2020, the CARES Act was created for those that were going through harsh times due to the COVID. There were funds available, there were PPP loans that were available, and ERC. At that time, you were only able to apply for one of them, either PPP or ERC. As of 2021, businesses were allowed to apply. If they apply for a PPP, they can also now apply for ERC. And what's so great about ERC is it's money tax credit that a business can get, and they can get up to $26,000 per W-2 employee. And what's so great about it is it's not a loan, so they don't have to pay it back. It's not earmarked to have to spend for anything special, so the business can spend on how they choose to do that. It's a process that you have to go through, and a lot of CPAs are not familiar with the process that you have to go through to get these funds or see if how much funds you can get. So Snap Delivered has a Snap Financial entity that you can sign up for and go through the process to see if you qualify or how much you qualify for to get up of the ERC funds.
Thank you. Just one more question I need to ask you.
Yes.
My good friend, Dr. Jen Davis, told me she was looking for some jewelry, and will you have something that she's looking for?
Yes, she said she was looking for a silver necklace, and Paparazzi has lots of silver necklaces to choose from. So you have something to choose from, and all the necklaces come with matching earrings. So you get a necklace and matching earrings for only $5.
Oh, my goodness. Thank you, Miss Candace Jones, and thank you did such a good job. You can go right into Snap Delivery. Just keep going.
Okay, so I talked about the ERC program in a little bit, but I'm going to bring up Snap Delivered and tell you the whole picture of Snap Delivered. So Snap Delivered is a food delivery service that was launched back in 2021. It actually celebrated the 1-year anniversary in July of 2022. It started out with food delivery, and the owners, the CEO, and the owners of the company wanted to be able to give a restaurant a way to deliver food, but also save them money. So with Snap Delivered, instead of charging the restaurants to 20, 30, or 40% that other delivery services are charging, Snap Delivered only charges the restaurant $2 per delivery. It doesn't matter what the cost of the delivery is, the restaurant only has to pay $2 per delivery. So why does that help out with the restaurant? Is because they're saving money that way. They're not paying these enormous fees for delivery services. Also, a restaurant can make money if they refer other restaurants to Snap Delivered to come on board. They can make money from that as well. A driver that's going to be delivering the food can make money as well. Once a driver comes on board, they know other drivers that are out there driving, because Snap Delivered offers so many opportunities to be paid for a driver. Not only do they get to keep their tips, the fuel costs, but they too can also earn money if they refer another driver, if they refer a customer, or if they refer a restaurant. A customer as well can make money if they refer other customers. So to do all this, you can just sign up for free. It doesn't cost anything to be associated with SNAP Delivered, and then you get you have available all of the other SNAP Delivered entities. So the food service is one. The SNAP Financial is the ERC program that I talked about, the Employee Retention Tax Credit Program, where a business can qualify to get up to $26,000 per W-2 employee. And it's not just for restaurants, it can be for any business that was in business at the time of COVID. So if a business no longer has their employees now, and maybe they were going through some harsh times, they can still register and see if they qualify and what they qualify for. So I am not an accountant. I can't tell you all the details. If you call Mr. Bibb at 216-681-1469 or his mobile number 216-659-4619. He will send you a link. There's a short video on there for 5 minutes. You can watch that, and then you just enter your basic information. You send that in, and then the firm will get back to you as far as what you need to do next. But the accounting firm takes care of everything that you need to do. They'll just talk with you about what you have, what information required. Another entity of SNAP Delivered is entertainment. Entertainment, isn't that something?
Yes.
So a lot of people are thinking about or looking at not having cable services because the costs for those are going up. So what SNAP Delivered Entertainment is, it's collaboration with a company called Vidgo, where you can have live streaming of TV shows, movies, and any other entertainments. And where this is big time is there's a lot of people out there who are sports fanatics. Football season is coming up now, so they're going to want to watch all those football games on TV and see who's playing what. I know a couple years ago, I was in a fantasy football league, and I was glued to the TV when those football games were playing. So I wanted to see if my players were doing good. So they offer the live streaming as well for TV. So again, you can sign up for SNAP Delivered to be an associate with SNAP and have available these other entities. There are programs with the Vidgo streaming, and you can pick whichever program you want. Now, there's a cost for that, but it's a lot less than what you would be paying for a cable service. Any questions?
All right, very, very good. And thank you for the awesome information in all the areas you just covered. And we'll give you a little break. And Ms. Tammy Kennedy, we were expecting her, but Reverend Ben Fair will you share with us what happened at McDonald's 2 Saturdays ago so we'll know what's going to happen in East Cleveland by the end of the month?
Absolutely, Mr. Bibbs. Well, 2 Saturdays ago, we was able to give out $50,000 worth of products to the community, Mr. Bibbs. On your behalf, we was able to give out household products. We gave out Pampers. We gave out all kind of women products and all kind of household goods that we was able to give out the PPE supplies in the community. So it was a great turnout. We had a huge turnout, and it was a great event. So we're looking forward to doing it again, Mr. Bibbs, this month. We're looking forward to passing out the PPE supplies and all kind of household goods this month as well.
Okay. And I might add that the Cleveland, Ohio, only African-American newspaper statewide had a great story about it in last week's Calling Post.
Yes.
And you can get it, if it's off the stand, you can get it at the Calling Post office. And they did a great job of showing the pictures of the people receiving the products and stuff like that.
Yes.
And that is the kind of thing that we want to do, being fair, for those unfortunately not able to get stuff with this record-breaking inflation that we have now. And following the COVID-19, things are a little rough for a lot of people.
Yes.
So that's why we
It's-
come back and we're going to do it again.
Yes, sir. It's a great opportunity to be.
All right.
Yes.
Thank
Yes.
you for being fair.
You're welcome, Mr. Bibbs.
Next on our agenda, we're gonna have some awesome information about what's going on and bring you up to date on the letter that the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. wrote from the Birmingham jail many decades ago. And now we're doing research, and we got one of the best researchers that ever researched. Is Miss Wildmont Carthon on the line?
I am here, Mr. Bibb.
All right. Would you bring us up to date on our series on Martin Luther King? This is a 4-week series, and next week it starts, and she's going to give us the preview of what's coming. Go right ahead.
Okay, as far as the letter from the Birmingham jail goes, there was a letter previous to that letter that Dr. Martin Luther King wrote, and it was written by 8 pastors or ministerial leaders, and those ministerial leaders were nicknamed the Waitful Eight because they were out to get Martin Luther King, and they wrote a letter that we won't read today. That's what Ms. Sharon will be reading next week. But the Waitful Eight's names are Rabbi Milton Grafman of Temple El Emmanuel, Catholic Bishop Joseph A. Durick, Methodist Bishop Nolan Harmon, Episcopal Bishop Charles C.J. Carpenter, Episcopal Bishop Coadjutor George M. Murphy, Bishop Paul Hardin, Edward Ramage, and Edward Stalling. They were said to be moderates rather than racists, which is what caused Dr. King to criticize them, even as he condemned them for taking significant stands on the issue of segregation. And involved in certain things that were going on at that time were Eugene Bull O'Connor, you probably recognize that name, Ralph Abernathy, and Clarence Benjamin Jones. And just a little bit from the letter from the Birmingham jail is what I'm going to read now. The Alabama Christian Movement for Human Rights agreed to a moratorium on all demonstrations as the weeks and months went by. We realized we were the victims of a broken promise. A few signs briefly removed returned, the others remained. As in so many past experiences, our hopes had been blasted, and the shadow of deep disappointment settled upon us. We had no alternative except to prepare for direct action, whereby we would present our very bodies as means of laying our case before the conscience of the local and national community. Mindful of the difficulties involved, we decided to undertake a process of self-purification. We began a series of workshops on nonviolence, and we repeatedly asked ourselves, are you able to accept blows without retaliating? Are you able to endure the ordeal of jail? We decided to schedule our direct action program for the Easter season, realizing that except for Christmas, this was the main shopping period of the year, knowing that a strong economic withdrawal program would be the product of direct action. We felt that this would be the best time to bring pressure to bear on the merchants for the needed change. And that's what the first section of the letter from the Birmingham jail is about. It's about change.
All right. Thank you very kindly. And don't go anywhere because we're going to embark upon the next generation of the King family. Martin Luther King III is introducing a new generation of activities called Drum Major for Justice. Would you share about Drum Major for Justice and also tell us something about the Drum Major Coalition. Ms. Wyvern Crawford, keep going.
Okay, there's a picture that I'm showing instead of myself is the One Dream Can Change Everything, and it was printed during, I believe, the campaign in 2005 for it was a pre-campaign for a presidential campaign, but it says One Dream Can Change Everything, and it's about the U.S. Department of Peace. And so going forward into 2021, Martin Luther King III and Andrea Waters King, who is his wife and president of the Drum Major Institute, started the Drum Majors for Justice Coalition. And it's about the period of 1963, where we asked for jobs and freedom and to overcome the race inequities and inequalities. And what they're asking is freedom, justice, and equality for mankind. And they formed this year in 2022, the Drum Major Coalition for Justice. They're investing in Black and Brown groups of people, and it can be nonprofit groups or for-profit groups, but they've selected 40 different groups, and they're raising $100 million that will go to those groups that have been out here and are working towards freedom and justice for Black and Brown people. I won't name all of those groups. Some of them are the Black Voters Matter, Black Pastors PAC Coalition in North Carolina, Restoring Voting Florida, and for the Latino people in Arizona and Texas, Peace, Justice, and Equity. And they have one in Ohio so far, and it's called Freedom Block in Akron, Ohio. So we have an opportunity now to get involved with this new civil rights movement for freedom and justice.
Ms. Wyvern, do
Yes?
you know what the block stands for? Would you share that with our viewing and listening audience?
The block, wait a minute, Mr. Bibb. I have to turn my page because I'm in the middle of 2 or 3 things here. It is, and I can't remember. You put me on the spot, Mr. Bibb. I wasn't
No, you're
expecting
good.
Can you do that one?
You told me.
I know, but I don't have it in front of me, and I wasn't prepared to talk about that. So can you say what it is?
All right, we'll move right along. And next week when we come back, we will have the entire name of the group from Akron. But it's block, but it's not like the block on the street. The B stands for black.
Right.
All right.
BLOC is what it is. It's not black block. That's BLOK.
You know,
It's called the Freedom
Dr.
Block.
Glenn Jarvis has something she want to add.
I like to say a little bit about Freedom Block. Is BLOK. It's started by Raymond Green, and he happens to be an AME. And what our group does is to educate people as how to vote. Because I always say that people register to vote, but they don't know how. They don't know the benefits. How to take it personal. So what the group does is go around Northeast Ohio and educate people about voting. And we have different events all over the city, from Akron to Cleveland and, Canton and a couple other places, Lorraine and Elyria, to educate people about voting. And that's what it's about. Yeah,
Thank you.
And he'll love to come on the show. I can do, we can make that arrangement, Candy.
Great save, Dr. Jarvis. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Ms.
Mr.
All
Bibb,
right.
Bibb, this is Petey Talley. I don't mean to butt in, but I do know Ray Green well. And block stands for black, lead. The B is for black, L is for lead, the O is for organizing, and the C is for collaborative. So it means black, lead, organizing, collaborative.
Everybody around the table, repeat that again, what it stands for.
Okay,
the
B stands for black, the L stands for lead, LED, the O stands for organizing, and the C stands for collaborative. So it's Freedom Block, Black-led organizing collaborative.
Yes.
See what happens when you have the biggest podcast on earth? Went from Las Vegas to Virginia, and now we're up in Toledo. Thank you, because you'll be coming on soon. Okay. Ms. Wyborn,
Yes, sir.
are you
I'm here.
finished?
I'm done. That was it. That was a great ending to my portion.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you, ladies. Thank you.
You got the whole state helping you. Thank you.
I'm so
We
happy.
really just started. All right, Dr. Gwen Jarvis,
Yes.
you got the report of the decade. Jobs.
Yes.
And what makes it extra special, never been fair, is jobs for the poorest city in the United States of America, which is Cleveland, Ohio. And you have 1,200 jobs. I want you to tell us what Cleveland Clinic is doing.
Well, I have a success story I'd like to start off with. I met with Miss Kimberly Peavy. We had a very nice conversation. And the success story that I have is that the day they had the day that they had the career fair, it was about 100 people there. They hired 80 of those people.
Oh, great.
Yes.
Oh,
Hired
that's
80 of them.
great.
So I have a short list that she provided me with of the job opportunities that's available. This is just a short list. These are the ones that they really need, like ASAP.
Okay, let us get our pens. Give us a chance to
Okay.
get our pens. This
Okay.
is a list of jobs that are
Okay.
open right now.
Yes, these positions are open right now, 18 years old
Now
and old.
give Pastor Ben Fair
He
chance
has
to
one.
get his pen. So you may have some people at the church that need a job. Pastor James might have some people need a job. And I got some people need a job. So let's go. We ready now?
Yes.
Now, go right ahead.
The positions listed here are area cleaner, floor technicians, patient care nursing assistant, patient service assistants, patient transporter, laundry associate, inventory stock clerks. These are the ones that they need like right now, even before December. These are the ones that they need like immediately.
What is the salary range?
Well, it goes according to the experience. So that she did not share with me. I did ask that question
But tell
and she
them
did
the
not
next
give
time
me.
we mention Cleveland Clinic on this podcast, they got to give me the salary range because the city of Cleveland City Council turned down $15 an hour about 5 years ago. So I'm real conscious on salary.
Yeah, I shared that with her, and as far as being a person who used to hire people, I told her that's one thing that people would like to know. Well, another good thing is that I asked her would she be willing to come on the podcast, and she said her marketing team, they prepare a packet, and she'll be willing to, she whenever they complete that, she'll come on.
I'll have some room in
Okay.
October.
All
Very
right.
good. Reverend Ben Fair, you heard that about transportation, didn't you?
Yes, sir.
How you coming with your transportation project?
Oh, we're still in the beginning stages, Mr. Bibb. Getting the business off the ground.
Okay. We'll try to move it a little faster because two people who want to control county transportation are running for office. It's called county executive. And we want to get committed from both of them so we'll know what's going on.
All right.
Thank you. All right. Thank you, Dr. Gwen Jarvis. Do you have another meeting scheduled with Cleveland Clinic?
Yes. Yes.
Will it be before next Wednesday?
I hope so. It'll be before next Wednesday.
Okay, so I'll put you
Yes.
back on the
Yes.
traffic.
Yes.
All right. Now, Ms. Candace Jones, would you introduce our next guest, please?
Okay, our next guest is coming from Toledo, Ohio. Petite Talley is the CEO of the Ohio Coalition on Black Civic Participation. The Ohio Coalition on Black Civic Participation, which is Ohio Unity Coalition, is a state affiliate of the National Coalition on Black Civic Participation in Washington, D.C. The chief aim is to increase political literacy and civic engagement in minority and underserved communities across Ohio. Ms. Talley, would you share some information with us about what's going on with your program? Any events or anything coming up?
Thank you. Thank you so much, Sister Jones, and thank you so much, Mr. Bibbs, for letting me come back and just share a little bit more. We are in campaign mode, and the campaign is just kind of rolling out. Now we're trying to get ramped up because we know that the election is 61 days away. We start voting early in less than 30 days, or about a little more than 30 days from now. I wanted to come back. We are ramping up and running a campaign in several counties in Ohio called the Ohio Unity Black Voter Empowerment Campaign. And that campaign is partnered with a number of strategic partners around the state, partners like the State Conference of the NAACP. We're partnered with the Ohio Grand Lodge of Prince Hall Mesa. We're partnered with the Sigma Phi Beta fraternity, the Delta Theta sorority. We're partnered with some Cleveland entities, the National Congress of Black Women there in the Cleveland area, some groups in Youngstown, some groups, all around have come together in various forms. The configuration looks a little different depending on what city you're in, but we're all trying to kind of work together and collaboratively to make sure we're turning out the vote for November. I want to just share real quickly with you all how we talk to voters in this election matters, whether or not they will actually get out and turn out. We know that midterm elections, voter turnout historically goes down as opposed to a presidential election. So we're kind of swimming up against a tide that has been kind of practiced in most politics of this country. But we have been exposing ourselves so that we could do this campaign in Ohio as effectively as we can. We've been exposing ourselves to key research that we could get a hold of so that it will help inform us how we talk to different voters in the Black community. So I want to share with you some of the key findings from some research that we've been exposed to that was done by the National NAACP, which we think will help us as we reach out to Black voters. They polled over almost 2,000 voters from June 1st to July 28th. And Ohio voters were among voters that Black voters that they also polled in Arizona, in Florida, in Georgia, in Maryland, Michigan, North Carolina, Nevada, Pennsylvania, and Wisconsin. And what they found was that Black voters are disappointed with progress and they're cynical toward politics. And some view one party as inclusive and the other party as divisive, but they view neither of those parties as looking out for Black people. So we got to really kind of work to win their hearts in this election. Economic and cultural issues dominated Black voters' top issue priorities. Issues like racism and discrimination were top among Black voters, but so was inflation and criminal justice reform. They were also big issues. They came in second to racism and discrimination. So we gotta figure out how we roll racism and discrimination into the conversation, not as a way to keep voters home, but as a way to kind of help drive them out. You would think that everybody's saying that Democrats are going to come out because of the Roe v. Wade decision, but for Black voters, Roe v. Wade was not among the top issues for Black voters. But what was clear was threats to the ability to make choices about women's health was more of a motivating message among voters not likely to vote and young Black voters. While on the other hand, Black men tended to prioritize economic issues. Policy accomplishments were universally impacting Black voters. but they were also universally unknown to them. Most Black voters were critical of whether or not Biden and the Democratic Party had delivered anything for the Black community. Most were citing police reform, housing assistance, child tax credit, and new jobs. Those are things that they needed to see this administration do that have to improve the quality of their life. But what most did not know was that this administration has been working on those issues and actually getting somewhere with some of those issues. So we've got a message that while the progress that you think is not happening, it is happening. And we've got to articulate what is happening so that they can understand this has not necessarily been a do-nothing administration. And based on gender and age, voters responded to certain messages in certain ways. So as we try to message about the Republican threat, while most Black voters accept that messaging as true, it was more accepted as a mobilizing message among Black women and young Black voters who are impacted by those issues that the Republican extremists are peddling. Again, it is more mobilizing to Black men that there's priority placed on economic advancement over social advancement. So, Mr. Bibb, what I think we have to do in this campaign, and we're going to be trying to figure it out as we kind of go out and knock on doors. How do we talk to voters to get them to come out of their house and go early vote or go vote on November the 8th? One of the things that some of the strategic message guides that came out of this research is that we've got to promote the progress that has been made since 2020 election and how it did improve the lives of Black voters. In order to increase turnout, we've got to continue to remind voters that they are the catalyst for the changes that they want to see in their communities, and that they can do that with their vote. They have power in their vote, and we've got to get that message through to them. We've got to message and promote on the progress that needs to be balanced, while we acknowledge that we have not gotten all of our issues prioritized, properly addressed, but that we cannot let up. We have to continue to press by going to the polls and voting in every election, whether it's a state election, a local election, a school board race, every single election. And then we have to use everyday people. We have to find single moms and young students and even our brothers. Everybody can be a deliverer of that message of how these policies have positively affected our lives. In other words, the message should be delivered by maybe a young student or a single mom while showing the images of Vice President Harris or Justice Brown Jackson or Senator Warnock or any of the others who are prominent influencers in our community. The young person delivers the message because that's who the voter can relate to, but we also show them images of prominent political people who are in office because of our vote, right? Progress messaging, again, should be targeted at Black men who prioritize economic security. So we've got to ease their concerns on the economy. That's paramount, and get them to identify how their vote will positively impact their community. And then we can use different messaging for Black women and young Black voters around the threat that the Republican Party faces if we don't get out and vote and get the right people elected to office. And so we've got to take this information that we have and what we know about what moves voters. And these voters were exposed to surveys, they were exposed to focus groups, they tested messaging before they gave people more information, and then saw if voters move. And these were the ways that the NAACP have shared with us as a partner in the state of Ohio that will work with our voters. And so we're going to try to articulate those in our flyers, in our digital messaging that we put on radio and in our newspapers and other things, so that we can see if we can motivate the Black voters in the state of Ohio to go out and vote. And hopefully Black voters in other states who had the same messaging will behave in kind. That's kind of where we are now. We're also ramping up and trying to get ready for National Voter Registration Day, which is Tuesday, September 20th. We have some plans in some of the cities like Columbus. They're doing a big blowout at Mamie Moore Park where they're bringing in a lot of different partners in the community, and everyone will converge at Mamie Moore Park. We're doing some stuff in Toledo. They are planning a pop-up and an informational rally where people can come and go. And we're trying to put all of the activities that we're going to be involved in this Black Voter Empowerment Campaign, using local Black radio to help promote that people need to make sure that they're ready to vote by making sure that their registration is current and up to date. So with that, I'll stop because
will you explain that September 20th again? I want to make sure we're clear on that.
Yes,
on
sir.
September the 20th, what will happen?
Tuesday, September 20th is National Voter Registration Day across the entire country. And so we are asking on that day for groups to work together to get as many people who are not registered to vote, and to also at the same time use the day to promote that people should check their registration to make sure they haven't dropped off the rolls, or that if they need to make changes to their voter registration, that would be a good day to do that. And we're going to back that up, Mr. Bibbs, with like radio spots that we have that people will hear. And if they're, if we get some locations there in Cleveland, which I think Ms. Pam Mason, who's our coordinator for the Black Voter Empowerment Campaign, once she gives us the report of where she's going to be, we're going to promote that on the radio. We want to partner with as many people as we can on that day.
Very good. That's why I asked that question, because next week that'll give us time to announce that, and we want to have that on the podcast next Wednesday. We'll be back at our regular time, 6 to 7. So have all the information together and get your person so they'll be able to speak about it. Are you next Wednesday?
Yes, sir.
Okay?
We can do that.
Cuyahoga County.
Yes.
Thank you very kindly, and be talking to you soon.
All right. Thank you for having me again. I appreciate it.
Okay.
Thanks for joining.
Thank you.
All right. Dr. Jen Jarvis,
Yes.
are you coming down there? You have any know your government for us today?
Well, it's that in East Cleveland, they seem to be having more issues, and 2 police were not only just charged, but they're incarcerated because of some things that they did as serving the community. So it's a sad day. They had not even been with the force for 2 years, these 2 officers. Not even 2 years.
Wow.
They didn't even get their feet wet.
Yeah.
And they get in trouble. And now they're behind bars like they put other people behind bars.
Oh my goodness.
So that's the update that I have that's going on as far as knowing your government. We have to know what's going on in our communities.
Do you have the name of the officers?
No, not at this time.
Do you have the name of the police chief?
No, not at this time.
You want to give a report, and when it's in the media,
Okay,
we have to follow that script.
okay,
Who they are. And because all the stations, all the printed media gave the names of them.
yeah, I don't have
And
their names.
we got some report that there will be some follow-up additional.
Yeah,
It's an investigation now in the city of East Cleveland Police Department.
yeah,
And the police chief himself, the one that's indicted, he called the Cuyahoga Sheriff Department and told them his department was corrupt. It was corruption going on in his department. That's how they found out about those 2. And you can pull up that report, and we'll have it with names and everything next week.
okay,
Thank you very kindly.
okay, that's where they come.
And on the political side,
I-
you have more?
I have information about the Board of Elections.
Okay, go right ahead.
Okay, Yes, it's the National Board of Election Day, and according to the outreach director of the Board of Elections, they are encouraging people to set up booths at their churches.
No,
Oh.
that's not know your government.
Oh,
That's
okay.
board election.
No.
Okay, let me continue to know your government.
Okay.
The East Cleveland Vice President of City Council was before the Board of Elections last week protesting his recall. But the board overruled and they put him on the ballot for the November election for a recall. So in the city of East Cleveland, on the November election, will be recalling the mayor and recalling the vice president of council. For some of you, you might remember several years ago, on the ballot was recall the mayor and recall the president of council. This time they're not the president, it's the vice president. So those are two of the hottest things to hit since last week, and know what's going on with your government.
Okay.
And next week we'll have some more brand new information for our audience, and we'll keep that going. Thank you very kindly. And I'll keep you at the night, let me call you Reverend. Dr. Gwen Jarvis.
Yes, but don't call me Reverend. I know my place. Okay.
Bill Silver B. Richards. Did you know him?
Yes, I did. He was like part of my family. He's been I was talking to one of my relatives. They say he's been a part of our family for about 40 years. So he was almost like family. So he died in the hospital. He was sick and he died. So, but the good things about him is that he was very adamant and an advocate for government and for young people. He was whatever, and that's how he became part and very intricate part of my family, is because of we had a lot of young men in our family, and then we had some that got into some incidents, and he really walked them through a way of life, and we really did appreciate that. My personal experiences with Silver B is when we had the 21st Congressional Caucus, and we would have our trainings at Vales. And he and I be the youngest persons there at Vales, at the congressional, when we were trained. We were trained, just like being in school, we were trained how to be a part of the government, the importance of voting, how to know how to know the legislation, to read the ballots. League of Women Voters would be there, and he and I were there to be trained as to be future leaders, to carry on, to be proteges of those who are not with us. But we still have some with us now, like Mr. Charles Bibb and Dr. Dean Cavanis is here. So that is he's going to be missed, but I just hope that some young people would just pay attention and become proteges of Silver B.
Thank you, Dr. Gwen Jarvis.
Yeah.
Bill Silver B. Richards
Yep.
was a good friend of mine, and he called me Godfather because I was there, like he mentioned earlier, when he first came forward and joined the caucus. And what I loved about it, for over 30 years, he made every national congressional conference in Washington, D.C. And that was quite a challenge, and he would be there attending the classes when the Black Caucus, Congressional Black Caucus of the United States, would meet and learn something new every year to bring back to the 21st District. And I thought that was quite an achievement. And on the Art McCoy's show, they had a program like we're doing now, talking about him. And his funeral arrangements, things are in the paper, and this coming Saturday is his funeral. So Silver B, well-earned rest. May you rest in peace. Thank you.
Yep.
All right, we've had a
2 minutes.
wonderful afternoon, and we got a lot of things going. We've got a lot of things coming in the future. And next week we'll have some more new people for you. And we'll bring you right up to date. Ms. Dr. Gwen Jarvis, did you have anything you wanted to say?
About the luncheon,
Yes.
okay, about the luncheon on Saturday?
Dr. Reverend Ben Fair, would you read about the lunch and everything Saturday?
Oh, yes, sir, Mr. Bibbs. The Charles E. Bibbs Sr. of Bibbs Record Shop Business Opportunity Mall luncheon and presentation on Saturday, September the 10th, 2022 at East Cleveland Public Library, Lower Auditorium, 14101 Euclid Avenue, East Cleveland, Ohio, 44112. The luncheon